The Biden administration announced a new round of aid to Ukraine for up to $1 billion on Wednesday. Some analysts warn that reports on ongoing corruption and poor management of funds may harm the West's support for the country's war efforts. Coates' comments came after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy announced on Sunday that Defense Minister Oleksii Reznikov would be replaced by Rüstem Umerov, and the country to more than 550 days of full-scale war. He argued that a change in leadership was needed after folding. In night speech of Ukrainian leader on Sunday, Zelenskyy called for different forms of interaction with both army and community, stating that Defense Ministry needs new approaches. Ukraine Ministry will be RUSTEM UMEROVED in the place of Oleksii Reznikov. Zelenskyy. Ukraine Verkhovna Rada knows this person very well and Umerov does not need additional promotions. I expect support from this candidacy from the parliament. However, this movement also came at a time when corruption reports in Ukraine were renewed. Reznikov was criticized in the Ukrainian media for paying 57 more than their normal prices to military jackets last month, according to a report released by the New York Times on Monday. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan recently met with 3 top Ukrainian officials to discuss the country's efforts root out of wartime corruption. Zelenskyy responded pressures with various anti-corruption initiatives, including a controversial proposal to exercise martial law powers punish corruption as betrayal. We will continue to support Ukraine while trying to implement important anti-corruption reforms. This includes strengthening independent anti-corruption institutions such as Ukrainian National Bureau, the Special Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office and High Office. The court will make sure that there is no room for corruption in the Ukrainian society today. According to the New York Times report, government figures earlier this year showed that approximately $980 million in delivery dates were missed in arms contracts, and some prepayments for weapons were transferred to overseas accounts of arms dealers. Meanwhile, in the news of the Ukrainian press, overpayments to basic army materials such as food began to be questioned. Reznikov did not directly interfere with the poor management of funds, but on Monday he resigned amid efforts to eliminate corruption that had the potential to jeopardize Ukraine's war efforts. BLINKEN realized the NEWSUAL KYIV visit to evaluate the attack against Russia of Ukraine. It can kill corruption, said Daria Kaleniuk, general manager of the Anti-Corruption Action Center in Ukraine. Depending on how effective we are in protecting public funds, the soldier will either have a gun or not. The efforts of Ukrainian leadership fight corruption continued on Tuesday. The Washington Post reported that they are taking action to reinforce the anti-corruption rule, which requires L.